Many people are intrigued by the fascinating journey of learning about women's minds and are driven to learn more about their attitudes and actions. Men need to be perceptive and perceptive, since their words and deeds serve as crucial indicators. Understanding women's psychology not only improves understanding, but also provides wise guidance for relationship decisions, whether in casual discussions or through subtle body language. But not every indication is favorable all the time. If ignored, certain things that women say and do can have a big impact on life and love. Let's explore 10 statements made by women today that could make you reevaluate your relationship and wonder if she really appreciates the time and effort you've put into it. It's not only about self-awareness here, it's also about making decisions that will benefit your future. To build meaningful and long-lasting connections, it is important to cultivate good values within yourself and objectively study the intricacies of relationships. I want you to express your support before we begin by giving the video a like and becoming a channel subscriber. Keep reading through to the finish, as each point is important and could open your eyes to new realizations. Now let's get going. 1. It's all about her. Men frequently struggle with the notion that they ought to suppress their feelings and refrain from disclosing excessive details of their daily lives. They may have feelings of loneliness as a result, particularly if they strive to be open with their relationships, but are rejected or disregarded. Giving away personal information is difficult. It's like saying, "Hey, I trust you with my feelings and experiences," but it stings when that confidence is returned to something insignificant or is received with indifference. Imagine obtaining that significant promotion at work at last. You can't contain your excitement and want to tell your partner about your wonderful news. You're ecstatic and full of pride. However, she would much rather discuss the newest technology or fashion trend. It seems as though she is saying, "Your big moment doesn't matter. Let's talk about something important that I find." Such an imbalance has the potential to seriously damage a relationship. It seems as though the second person's unimportant hobbies outweigh the accomplishments and emotions of the first. That's not how a good relationship ought to operate. As Epictetus once observed, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Consider this statement. This is a fancy way of saying that it's crucial for partners to listen to and care about each other's personal life. It's about being compassionate toward one another, sharing in victories, and supporting one another through good times and bad. It's important to know when your partner is being egotistical or not providing adequate emotional support. It all comes down to how much you value your mental health and yourself. Depending on the situation, it may require a heart-to-heart conversation to work things out, or it may require making difficult choices regarding the partnership. In any case, the goal is to discover contentment and happiness in a partnership based on respect and caring for one another. 2. I'm busy right now. Work can be very demanding, as we all know. Like the rest of us, you have a 9-to-5 work as a guy. You are able to prioritize your family despite your hectic schedule. This demonstrates that you place a high value on your family and make time for them despite your pressing obligations. This harmonious juggling of work and family obligations is admirable and shows how devoted you are to your family and how capable you are at setting and maintaining priorities. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. The ancient Stoic philosopher Seneca famously stated. This quotation highlights the value of perseverance and perspective in overcoming obstacles in life. It enables us to approach challenges with a logical mentality, realizing that our worries and perceptions frequently make problems seem worse than they actually are. But it's concerning if your partner disappears or is inaccessible on a regular basis. When you try to get in touch with her and she tells you that she's too busy or preoccupied to talk, you have to understand that someone who appreciates a relationship makes time for their partner a priority, no matter what else they have on their plate. A good relationship is built on the foundations of open communication and mutual respect. Any disagreements or issues must be handled with compassion and understanding. In summary, it's important to strike a balance between job and personal life. But sincere attention and effort in relationships should never be undervalued or compromised. It takes constant work, communication, and a shared commitment to putting one another's pleasure and well-being first to forge strong bonds. 3. My ex used to do that. It's often not appropriate to think about previous relationships when you're in a relationship. It should raise red flags if your partner brings up their ex on a regular basis. This can happen in a number of contexts, like when you're shopping with her and she says, "My ex had great taste in clothes. He would have loved this outfit." Despite their seeming innocence, these remarks may cause you to feel inadequate and insecure in your present partnership. It's critical to understand that developing a strong and trustworthy connection is not facilitated by her persistent comparisons of you to her previous relationships. This situation is consistent with Epictetus's Stoic maxim, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." This maxim encourages us to concentrate on the things that we can control. You have little control over dwelling on relationships from the past. Therefore, in a relationship, it's important to put your emotional health first by addressing these kinds of habits. If your spouse brings up previous relationships frequently, it could mean that they are still processing their feelings or are using the current relationship as a means of escaping from them. This may result in you being selected as a rebound companion instead of someone out of true connection and desire. It's critical to identify these tendencies and resist being used as a makeshift emotional crutch. It could be time to reevaluate the relationship if you see that your partner seems stuck in the past or talks about their ex a lot. Your happiness and emotional well-being shouldn't be sacrificed, and continuing in such a circumstance might cause needless suffering. It's important to have frank discussions about expectations and boundaries in a relationship, but if they don't result in improvements, you might want to think about moving on. 4. It's your fault. A significant warning sign that a lot of men miss in relationships is when a woman persistently refuses to accept responsibility for her behavior or offer an apology. This conduct indicates a deeper pattern of behavior that can have a substantial impact on the dynamics of the relationship rather than just being an oversight or sporadic miscommunication. No matter how small the fault may be, she wants you to grovel and ask for forgiveness in these kinds of situations. On the other hand, if she makes a mistake or acts inappropriately, she seems to free herself of any responsibility and places the blame on you. She shifts blame onto you, leading to an unbalanced and toxic relationship, rather than accepting responsibility and working toward a resolution together. The sage Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This age-old advice emphasizes the value of reflection and responsibility in overcoming obstacles in life, especially interpersonal ones. Mutual respect, open communication, and shared responsibilities are the foundation of a healthy partnership. In order to find closure and move past their differences, both parties must be prepared to own up to their errors, offer heartfelt apologies, and cooperate. In conclusion, building wholesome and satisfying relationships requires an awareness of the complexity of women's thoughts and behaviors. We've learned 10 important lessons from this investigation that can encourage introspection and enhance interpersonal dynamics. Every lesson helps lay a solid foundation of mutual respect, trust, and understanding, from valuing individual growth to respecting boundaries. Couples can overcome obstacles and share victories by putting communication, empathy, and shared values first. It's critical to confront toxic habits and warning flags as soon as possible, and to seek professional assistance if necessary. Ultimately, maintaining a happy relationship requires a dedication to each other's personal development and emotional health. I appreciate you taking part in this investigation. Your participation and presence enhance our conversations and advance our group's development. May we approach relationships with an open mind, sensitivity, and a dedication to deep connections as we travel forward. Let's cultivate and create connections that provide delight, joy, and long-lasting contentment.